Well, it's an odd mix, isn't it? I don't know quite what it is. It's hopefully funny, it's hopefully romantic, it's hopefully exciting.
Doesn't sound too bad. I'll try and stay awake.
When Bill Goldman sat down to write this book, he had two daughters. His one daughter, he says, if I were a book, what should I write a book about? And one daughter said, write a book about a princess. And the other one says, write a book about a bride. And so he said, okay, I'll call it The Princess Bride.
The book was finished in '73. 20th Century Fox thought there might be a movie in Princess Bride. And just before we went into production, the head of Fox was fired.
A technicality that will shortly be remedied.
And that set up a series of over a decade when the movie almost happened. One studio loved it, and the weekend they were going to make it, they closed.
We're closed.
One studio loved it, and the weekend the studio executive was going to make the deal, he was fired.
Unemployed in Greenland.
Norman Jewison was going to do it at one point, and it would have been wonderful. And then we couldn't get the money.
And then years went by, and I had made Spinal Tap, and I was finishing up on the Sure Thing. And I said, you know, they make movies out of books. And then I started thinking of all the books that I loved, that I had read, and this was the one I remembered the most. I thought, well, let's see, you know, maybe I can, you know, get William Goldman to agree to, I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. And I went and found out, first of all, that he had been trying to make it into a movie for like 15 years. I very naively called William Goldman up and said, I'm interested in this. He had not seen Spinal Tap. He went and saw Spinal Tap.
I went to see Spinal Tap. I screened it with my daughters. And I started shrieking. It was so funny. And I thought, good God, give him the movie.
And I was like walking on air. I thought, oh my God, you know, William Goldman wants to say it's okay for me to do this. The first two films I made were Spinal Tap and The Sure Thing. Spinal Tap was a satire. The Sure Thing was a love story. And this Princess Bride was a satirical kind of fairy tale love story. So certainly by looking at these two films, he probably got a sense that I had the sensibility and I could understand the tone of how to blend these things.